Good afternoon, it's Lee Cassidy from Tactile Technology, and it's our regular Thursday session, which we talk about the business and what we're up to at the moment. So, one thing to talk about is next week is the Worldwide Servitization Conference, which is a virtual event this time because originally it was going to be planned to be earlier in the year at the ICC in Birmingham, but because of what's happening with the COVID situation, it's had to be initially postponed. It was moved back to September, and then as things seem to progress on, and we're still not back in a situation where we could do conferences live. It's been made a virtual conference through VFairs. So it's been quite interesting for me. I've never been involved in a virtual conference before. So we've had to go through the process of setting our booth up. We've got it all set up now, and it's got some basic information about us as an organisation. And I'd like to show you that in a little while. Plus, also, it's also got some features and functionality around how we communicate with our clients that come onto the stand. So, as they come in and move around. So, what I'm going to do is take me over to there, and I'll show you what it looks like. So, it does look quite interesting. So, you have a virtual exhibition hall. So you've got people walking around. There's not a great deal of social distancing going on, though. But they are virtual people, so I'm hoping they can only get a virtual coronavirus. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So on there, what we can do is we can click on any of the auditoriums. We can see the sessions that are available and join a session. If we go back, we can also go into the exhibition hall, and you can see the different exhibitors. So there are a number of people in there. Some of the interesting ones that I know about is one, Baxi Heating. So it'd be interesting to look at their stand and see what they're doing. What they're looking at is delivering heat as a service. So quite a different approach to how you'd actually do heating rather than purchasing a boiler and then fixing it later if there is an issue with it. So they're actually going down that route with servitization to offer heat as a service, and I think it's initially through B2B services. But going back, I'll show you ours. I think they've added more hair for me this time. I mentioned that to a few people from the image the other day. But what we've got here is stand. We've got a video that we can show that just gives people a bit of an idea of what we do as a business. So it goes through all the basics of that. So a little bit loud, and also it talks about our servitization story. So there's a little video of me talking through our story, and we've been doing this about 3 years now with them. So we've gone through a particular set of stages and built up our service on the back of that. And these steps, come from where you'd normally sell a product, and then maybe sell spares, and then on top of that, you may add on to that some things like a break fix service, and then continue up this staircase with different capabilities. So we currently at this stage here where we can actually provide customer an asset capability that guarantees the outcome of the product for the customer. And what we're trying to do is move towards guaranteeing the outcome of the business process itself. And we're integrating things like ITOM and AIOps into the solutions we offer, whether that's just a virtualized storage platform or whether that's delivering a complete Kubernetes container environment. But we're actually adding in that monitoring and management capability over the top of it, with this ability to, one, reduce the amount of events you see, but also add in there things like the automation of rectification of a problem. Because a lot of people, that's one of the problems, is they get so many things come in and they spend so much time looking at them. It takes it takes such a long time before they get to a fix. So what we're trying to do with the deployment of the services we offer, things like Tintry with an ITOM AOps platform around it, or a complete Diamante on-premise and cloud-based container platform, which gives a guarantee that the actual service is delivered, and we can guarantee the outcome of that business process for the customer, and that's what we're driving towards. So it gives you a bit of a picture of what we're doing on the stand. We've also got a number of pieces talking about where we've come from, where we've gone, and the kind of things that's changed, some of the information about what we're seeing by doing this with one, our response from our customers, but also the changes in the way that we do revenue and profitability and things as well. So there's been quite a few changes in the way we do our business and getting there. And then final section here, we've got some sections around what we call the advanced services business model blueprint that covers off things like the customer value proposition, the value creation and delivery of the service, the value capture. So we normally capture all the information about what value we're delivering, then looking at the competitive landscape, now we fit into there. So we're providing all that information and what we've done to this point in that space as well. So a lot of bits and bobs about what we've done and where we're going, and on the actual system, you can come in, watch some videos of some of the service that we're offering, and also there's a chat area, so you can go in and speak to a number of us that are on the virtual booth for the 3 days. So it kicks off Monday and it runs through to Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'm speaking at one of the panel sessions at 2 o'clock, and we're talking about what we see servitization adds value from a business perspective, and also how it adds value from a customer's perspective as well, because we have to look at it from both sides, our side and the customer side, and where the value is. And with servitization, we've seen that it actually gives both parties some benefit. Not only us as the customer, as the supplier, but also the customer gets quite a lot of benefits from what we're doing. Also, we start to talk to a lot of other people that are working in this servitization space and working through how they can actually change what they offer, and looking at how we can work alongside them. We've kicked off a project alongside a number of organisations, including Cool Mill, UV Lights, and also with Baxi Boilers, looking at a digital servitization demonstration platform as well, and we're starting to work towards that and what we can deliver there to show people what the actual solution looks like, and what they can get from an advantage from it as well. Because I think you've got to see what the advantages are of not just the actual servitization of a solution, but also how it's delivered. What else do you get rather than just that storage system, that container-based platform? What are the other things on top of that that you're going to get from it that's going to help you? And I was going to speak yesterday on my Ops Ramp Wednesday about some areas around some of the things like understanding the costings and benefits you're getting from using public cloud services. Again, what we're looking to do is provide customers with a comparison between performance and cost, between on-premise and if they were doing the same thing in a public cloud environment, say GCP or Azure or even AWS, running particular workloads, whether that's a container workload running bespoke application sets, or whether it's something like Elasticsearch or Splunk, which a lot of people are using, especially in an IoT environment, which fits really well into this space again, because a lot of organizations, they're actually using things like Splunk or Elasticsearch at the back end of their servitization piece to capture all the information that's coming out of their IoT devices, and then using that information to provide insights for for their customer, so, and also for themselves as well. And it really does change the model that you have, and a lot of large organizations have changed the way that they deliver their services dramatically through the use of advanced servitization. Organizations such as GE Engines and Rolls-Royce have done quite a lot of work to actually change from delivering just an engine with maintenance manual on some parts, to actually delivering real-time information about functionality and performance of an engine, and also any changes to the schedule based on its usage, including renting the engine by flight time rather than a general lease like many other people would do, and also including things like providing micro course changes in flight, which will actually help to reduce fuel flow and reduce the amount of consumption of fuel in the total flight. And that makes a really big difference to an organization like an airline, because the fuel is the biggest cost commonly outside of the lease for the aircraft and people. So it's one of the really big things that impacts the actual cost of travel in the airline industry. Not that there's a great deal of airline flights going on at the moment with the current situation. It's quite reduced from where it was, and I think it maybe take a year or two before we get back there. But this servitization process works across any type of industry. There are even organisations such as packaging companies who are using servitization to offer very differentiated services to things like automotive industry in when they're actually delivering products and packaging, because they're looking at not just ensuring the package is stable in transit, but they're looking at things like temperature changes, the amount of force that's been exerted in which direction on the actual components that were within that packaging as well. So you can understand if there's been any stresses on the actual components, which, if you're putting that as a component into a vehicle, you want to know. It could have weakened a particular point in it. And it's also if you've got an issue where, you're having a number of components, say glass components being delivered with chips or even breakages, you might want to know where in the actual logistical chain that's happening, and if it's a part of the process or just bad handling in that as well. And these are things that a lot of people wouldn't think are a advanced service, but it does change the way that you interact with your customers and the kind of service that you can offer. Hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea what next week's about, the Worldwide Servitization Conference. If you're a manufacturer, you can actually still register. There's a number of people registered to come to the event next week. It runs like 3 days. Yeah, a number of different keynote speakers, some panelists, and the exhibition. It's I believe it's free to register, so I can put the registration details on the system for you to have a look if you're a manufacturer and you're interested in that. But also, if you're interested in servitization, the experience of it, I'm quite happy for you to contact me, and we can have a video call or an audio call and go through what we've experienced and the benefits we've got from it, and also introduce you to the Advanced Services Group at Aston University to see if you could get involved as well. Well, hopefully speak to you again tomorrow. Like I say, we've got Ed Oak and Sarah from Verkada for Verkada Friday at 3 o'clock. So we're talking through all things security cameras with a hybrid cloud environment. And it tags into a relationship we've had long term with a company called Meraki that came out of MIT, which was absorbed into Cisco a number of years ago. But very different thought process in how to build and deploy solution. So really worthwhile coming along tomorrow and watching it at 3 o'clock. Hopefully see you then. Otherwise, catch up with you next week. Monday, we're back to Diamante Monday, where we start talking about containers, Kubernetes, and what we can deliver in that space as well. Thank you very much.